There was a moment there earlier in the fourth set when you had a break point to go up 2 breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you might have looked over at the coach, someone we know really well, Brad Stine. Mm-hmm. He used to coach Jim Curry. He jumped in the Yarra a couple of times, maybe before you were born, actually.
Probably.
He told you to cover the tee, didn't he?
But yeah, well, I asked him. I had trouble all day on break points, big points with Ben. He was serving really well. I didn't know where to lean, so I finally went to my coach and I was like, where am I going? He was like, what? I was like, where am I going? And then I think when I said it with a little bit louder tone, Ben heard it. He screamed T, and then I covered T, and then he went wide ace, so.
And he has pointed to Brad Stine and said, and that's the trouble with coaching.
He saw it, right?
Seen it.
I mean,
he saw it.
Come on, Brad.
Try to do anything I can at this point in the quarterfinals to see if we can get a little bit of extra knowledge and advantage. I mean, the single biggest thing for sure is trying to figure out and see if there's any specific patterns that Ben is serving at, if he has a favorite spot on break points, if he has a tendency to go to one spot or another. And you do that through analytics and looking at those things, but also just talking to other coaches and players that have played him in previous matches, or I'm messaging guys in the States that are coaching college tennis that saw him when he was playing at Florida, and like trying to pull out all the stops and talk to anybody and everybody I can, right now that's been on court against him.
Oh, what wheels!
Well, I've known Brad since I was probably 14 or 15, and I started working with him when I was 21, around 21. And I mean, every year that we've worked together, it's always been one focus that we kind of really lean into for the whole year. So, I mean, this year's kind of mentality. So, I mean, that's like the biggest thing. I think we started the year well doing that.
This is a great coaching display as well, I think, from his corner. Good combination, these two.
There were some technical things in the offseason. We spent some time working on serve, wide forehand, backhand slices. Those were big keys in the offseason. Gave me a list basically of things that he felt that he needed to do better, and then a list of how he was going to do that, or how he thought he could do it, which included better intensity in practice, better focus in practice. And so we really started that on the very first day that we were here, and I think that's translated a lot to his success.
To make your first semi-final in a major, this is a big deal.
Tommy Paul, a sagacious performance from the 25-year-old to cement his spot in the Final Four in Melbourne. That progression has been fantastic in the last 2 years, and I think that's where Brad needs a lot of credit.
On court, he really pushes me, but he also understands me off court. He lets me have my fun off court. I have fun with him off court. He's a kind of like a young guy, He has got good energy, so it's fun to be around him. It's easy to go to dinners with him, but then when we get on court, it's business. So it's kind of a good relationship that we have.
Well, of course, I followed her in the years that she's been on the tour, but I didn't really know her until I decided to drive from my home in Los Angeles down to the San Diego tournament in mid-October. It's a WTA 500. Donna was one of the people I wanted to meet and talk to, and we ended up talking a lot about her tennis. It was just very, I don't want to say accidental. I believe in fate. But it was just, I was in the right place to help her for that week. And then we decided that things had gone so well in San Diego, maybe I can come on as an advisory coach to support Nick and the rest of the team and just try and give some of my knowledge of playing for 19 years and having watched as a broadcaster for the last 20. So it's been a great team effort so far.
Donna Vekic, great to see her back, contending for tournaments and setting her year up beautifully.
Yeah, having Pam the last couple of months has been absolutely amazing, and I'm sure you've seen it with them together, but they're such a good team. They have amazing communication, and they have amazing communication towards me, which I think is really important. So I think we make a great team, and we've put in all the hard work, not just on the off-season, but the last couple of months. Things have finally clicked for me on the match court, and I really believe in myself.
That's the way to do it. Donna Vekic playing with so much confidence.
Having someone as Pam in the team is just, it's so powerful. More than, 100 titles or 22 Grand Slam titles. I sometimes say to Pam, just the numbers are coaching by itself. And that voice that she has. But not only that, I think, what I expected, Pam showed even more, because the timing and when she speaks and the choice of words, I think it makes a difference.
Trying to use her box a little more. Didn't see her talking to them too much in that first set, but now down a set and a break, a little more chatter, trying to get any sort of help and advantage she possibly can from the people supporting her most.
They already, so fast have feeling what I need and who I need in the moment. So that's key to success, I would say.
I think it varies. Every player is different. Everyone has a different mentality. You can see it quite distinctly in the way they are, and they need different things.
From the USA, Francis, TFO.
The lock thing, honestly, I've been kind of living by that for a little bit, and I think you've seen the shift in myself and being more, just locked in everything you're doing. Staying super present, staying in the moment, staying locked in. And it's funny coming from me because everyone knows how I go about my business, and I'm, very, open and just joking around. So when I'm saying it, it just sounds funny. So then it became a thing where if Francis can lock, like everyone's got to lock.
The guys are doing whatever they can these days to get as much of an edge as they can. Now, if you look at tennis matches, you look at results at the end of it, it comes down to 1 or 2 points in a match, and it can make a huge difference. So if you can bring on somebody that can kind of give you that 1 or 2 point edge just to push you through or pass, especially when you get towards the end of the majors when it counts, can be very, very helpful.
Oh, the 2019 quarter-finalist finally gets the job done.
I've gotten complacent before. I made quarterfinals here back in 2019. I got complacent. I saw what that looked like. I was, sorry for my language, doing shit for 2 years, and now I'm back and playing well and playing some of the best tennis of my life. So I know when things are going well, and I know how things can go south.
Every player has a physio, a fitness trainer, and a coach, or sometimes a couple of coaches. The emphasis a lot more on gym, a lot more on the stretching, the running, the fitness, the strength. So yeah, everyone has to have one, because if you don't, you get left behind.
There's not many coaches that would tell their player what for when they've needed it.
Robbie, that begs the question, why wouldn't a coach of one of these players give him the what for if he needed it?
Because they get fired.
That is an indictment.
They're very quick, a lot of the players, at blaming their coaches for their losses. You see it a lot now, which is quite sad. It never really happened in our time. It's the first thing that they blame is the coach. And they chop around a lot. But I do think that if you've been with somebody for a long time, it is nice to get some fresh ideas.
Well, in keeping with his kaleidoscopic outfit, he has hit him with a collection of chaos out here in terms of the skill, the shots. Wayne looks on, studious as ever.
I think the players rely a little bit too much on the coaches. We used to be able to just play on our own and figure things out, but it seems to be that they need a lot more constant information, and they feel like the coaches are playing a bigger role in the outcome of matches and that, so it's quite different.
Sigh of relief from the coach.